Hi, and welcome to this episode on Getting Started with your Kamado Joe. I'm your host, The Grateful Griller, and thanks so much for joining me. Today, I'm going to explain how to control temperature with your cooker. Now, your Kamado Joe has a vent on the bottom and a vent on top. It's got an external temperature gauge, which will give you an internal reading of your cooker when it's fired. After you've lit your fire, you want to make sure that these two vents are wide open, because airflow dictates temperature. The wider the vent opening, the hotter the fire. The narrower the vent opening, the cooler the fire. After about 15 or so minutes, you'll want to make sure to be back out on deck, because now you'll be ready to manipulate these two vents back and forth to find that sweet spot, as I call it. In other words, your desired temperature on the day you're cooking. Could be 350 for burgers, 550 for delicious pizza. Maybe you want to impress family and friends with a 600-degree high-temperature sear, or one of my favorites, a long, low and slow roasting smoking session at 225. Whatever your desired temperature, rest assured your Kamado Joe will get you there every time. Your Kamado Joe is obviously really safe and highly efficient as cookers go as well, thanks in part to a felt-like gasket that acts as a seal and a cushion between the lid and the base of your cooker. This gasket also assists in keeping air inside the high-quality ceramic walls of your vessel, and it's that heat that's re-reflected back on your food in order to make it taste delicious and evenly cooked every time. Couple of other things to note. When you're cooking above temperatures of 500 degrees, you want to avoid something called flashback. That's what happens when your lid is opened up too quickly and a rush of oxygen gets into your cooker and comes back at you in the form of white heat. Totally avoidable. All you want to do is lift your lid just a couple of inches like that, air the vessel as I call it, wait 4 or 5 seconds, and then proceed to open the lid all the way. That way you'll stay safe and you'll have a great time all the time. One last thing, always use a natural premium lump charcoal like Kamado Joe's exotic oak wood blend. Avoid lighter fluid and cheap briquette because they'll just impart a nasty taste on your food and they won't do anything good for your cooker in the long run. And above all else, have fun, practice often, and remember, cook with the lid closed and you'll have perfect grilling results in no time at all. That brings us to the end of this episode. I want to personally thank you for joining me today. We want to make sure you get the most out of your Kamado Joe cooker, so please do check out our other videos. If there's a particular topic of interest or question you may have, just simply go to www.kamadojoe.com, where you're guaranteed to find a friendly, engaging, customer service-oriented, not to mention passionate griller at Kamado Joe headquarters. On behalf of Kamado Joe, I'm the Grateful Griller, reminding you to feed that fire and take your grilling games higher.